Burke's on his feet. He looks up and gives me a grin and says, "Hey dude, you too must be from Marin." Marin County's A-OK, from Tam to Stinson all the way to MA. Fresh organic veggies in the market every day. The Dennis, Dylan, and double.
Welcome to the Run TMC podcast. That is the Run, the Marin County podcast, a podcast about basketball based here in Marin County. I am Duffy Ballard. This is season 3, episode 21. I am here with Dave Levine. We are in downtown San Anselmo, across from Hilda's and Barton's Bagel and Longway. None of them sponsors yet. And we're talking hoops.
We are talking hoops. Good to see you, Duff. We just had an awesome session, which you will hear in moments, with the great Jonas Honick breaking down some hoop stuff. And it's nice to be here in San Anselmo. It's a spring day. We're both in the postseason now, where basketball's over. I'm coaching some club right now, but you're just taking some time off from hoops, and it's nice. We're relaxed.
I don't feel like I'm taking time off from hoops, Dave, because I watched a lot of basketball since we are in the March Madness still. It's March 30th. Also National Doctors Day, Dave, just as an aside.
Good job.
And yeah, went to see an Elite 8 game down at the SAP Center in San Jose with Holden and some other buddies, Arizona and Purdue. And that was a really fun game. We're going to get into it a little bit in this podcast discussion with the great Jonas Honick. We'll get to that in a moment. But I'll say, Dave, I'd never been to the SAP Center before, and great vibe. You know, it's an 18,000 seat arena, primarily used for hockey, but for basketball, it has great visuals, great acoustics. The University of Arizona fans were like on point, a lot of red in the arena, but Purdue was yelling back. There were U of A chants that were going on, and the Purdue fans they'd hear the U of A, and they'd be like, "Sucks, U of A, sucks."
Nice.
Very creative.
I feel like
Anyway.
I was there. That was beautiful.
It was fun. It was fun, and like this has been a great tournament. Amazing game yesterday, and to the UConn and Butte game. We're going to get into that as well. So before we do that, we want to thank our sponsors, Dave, which include a new sponsor, StopTheCasino.org. StopTheCasino.org in West Marin.
Okay.
More about them later.
Great.
And any local news, Dave?
Well, we'll get into it in a future episode, but obviously there have been some coaching changes, some player movements that we're hearing rumblings of in Marin. We'll definitely get to that. Stay tuned. But awesome season in Marin, as we've talked about ad nauseum. Very proud of all the teams, and another shout out to the San Marin boys for winning state. That was awesome. And one idea that we've had for a future episode, I'm working on trying to get some Marin kids playing in college that we're going to do a roundtable with. Stay tuned.
I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
So TT Carr or Carly Anborn,
Grayson Levette, maybe Keely Wright, Hannah Golan. Yeah. We want to try Will Heimbrot. We want to get
AJ Rossi.
There's lots to choose from. I just think it's cool to hear the perspective of Marin kids who have gone on to play at the next level, whether it's Division 1, 2, 3, whatever, junior college. It's just a cool perspective.
Love it. And also, Dave, we'd be remiss not to mention that the assistant coach transfer portal is now open as well.
Yes.
Are you getting any offers?
Yeah, I'll send out my Venmo.
Okay.
If people want to throw me some offers. Nobody bought my long way coffee this morning, so I think the NIL money for assistant coaches has dried up.
Well, still some time.
But this episode today, as we've talked about, all good ideas come from Duffy. I don't know maybe when he's on his hikes or doing something active, but Duff had the idea of, all right, this NCAA tournament has been really fun, both men and women. And there've been some amazing end of game buzzer beaters. So why don't we break down the end of game buzzer beaters with some smart basketball people? And I think we both agree the smartest basketball person we know is Jonas Honick. So Jonas was kind enough to come down and meet us, and we just kind of break down for an hour, 7 or 8 games, I think.
7 games, I think, total.
5 or 6 men's games, 2 women's games.
Well, maybe it was 8, Dave.
Yeah, 8. That came down to the last possession, and we break it down from an offensive perspective, defensive perspective, coaching decisions, players executing, and getting Jonas's view was just super fun. So that's what is in store for you if you keep listening to this here episode.
Yeah, so we'll put the links to the games that we break down in the show notes, not the entire game, but you'll capture the last couple minutes and you can kind of scan through. And if you want to watch the game unfold as we talk about it, you'll have that option. And then at the end of the episode, we're going to thank our sponsors. You'll get all the normal sponsor shout outs at the very end after our discussion with Jonas. And we got the Final Four weekend coming up. Should be great games. We'll get into that in our conversation. And then we'll be back with a couple more episodes this season. Dave, we're aiming for wrapping up, sometime later in April, and then we'll be back, we think, for season 4.
Absolutely. We'll be back for season 4.
All right. We're coming back for season 4.
Coming back, baby. Let's do it.
All right. If you want to sponsor us, Long Way Coffee for season 4, reach out whenever.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be back. It's too much fun. But this was a great one. If you like basketball, this is a deep dive on basketball stuff. So be ready to nerd out. Coaches, players, you'll like this one.
All right. Let's go.
We are thrilled to be joined by our old friends, multiple episode guest, Coach Jonas Honick. Hello, Coach.
Dave and Duff. The Dave and Duff show. We love it. I enjoy coming back.
We always love having you. It's always fun to talk hoop. We have a jackhammer in the background. Hopefully AI will take that noise out.
But the good news is Tilda's is on its way to being, back in action. So we're sitting across from Tilda's. We have our coffee from Long Way, not a sponsor yet.
None of these are sponsors. We're in the streets of San Antonio giving away free promotion. So we've asked Jonas to join us because this is Duffy's idea. As again, all good ideas on this show are Duffy's.
Well, he actually earned his way into a college, Dave. And I mean, you just had that sort of Branson stepping stone into Stanford.
Duffy hit a triple.
Really hard.
I was born on third base. Duffy hit a triple. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
The golden escalator, right? From Branson and Stanford.
That's right. That's right. Totally true. So we've had a great NCAA tournament. Some extremely fun buzzer beaters. And in fact, Duffy has compiled, how many do we have? Like 5 or 6?
I think we're up to 7, but we may not get through all of them.
Across both men's and women's. And we thought it would be fun to break down some of these end of game situations and get the expert Jonas's opinion on decisions that coaches made, decisions that players made, and just kind of nerd out on March, which is what we love.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
And I just want to add one thing. What makes you an expert is that you've been on both ends of these shots. So
you've been on the winning end and the losing end.
Winning end and losing end.
And sometimes you can make dumb coaching decisions, which we're going to talk about. There were some decisions that we didn't agree with that worked out great. Sometimes you do everything right and the players don't execute. And
right.
There's no substitute for experience.
Very true.
Maybe true.
But so as we break down some of these things, we'll get into the specifics, but also it'd be interesting to just hear about certain themes, Jonas, Duffy, that you guys saw, and I'll certainly share mine. I think there were a few. I'll give a hint. One that jumped out to me is some clutch free throw shooting down the stretch, kept teams in games that they otherwise might have lost.
Yep.
Offensive rebounds.
Although UConn missed 2 foul shots down the stretch.
They did.
And still
were able to win. Still were able to win.
Because they went 4 for 5 down the stretch and 3.
Yes. After going 1 for 18, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Offensive rebounding was another big one in a couple games where teams just didn't execute, but got the O board, lived to fight another day. So interesting. But we're going to start with one of the most entertaining games, Florida, Iowa. Duff, why don't you set the scene here on this one?
Yeah, so we have it pulled up on YouTube here. We're going to watch the last 8.9 seconds. At this point, Florida is up 2 on Iowa. Iowa has the ball at their own baseline. Florida has just made 1 out of 2 free throws.
Okay.
That might make a difference in the outcome of this game. So they missed the front end of 2 shots, and now Iowa's down 2, and it looks like Florida is picking up full court. And so we'll talk about that. We're just going to play it, and then we're going to comment. It says Sturtz is coming.
So Sturtz is Iowa's best player. He gets it on the run, kick to the corner, and his teammate, what's his name, Tagaris?
It's a guy whose father passed away when he was.
It's a great story. But so you have the best player, clearly the best player on Iowa, gets it going downhill. Jonas, we're going to talk about Florida's defense, but then instead of forcing a shot, he gives it up. We talked about in a beautiful, actually a bounce pass, which was controversial for a corner three. Jonas, talk about.
So let's go right back. You can understand why Florida is covering starts the way they are. If you look at it after the timeout, they're in a denial, so to speak. Take a look where your defender is right there.
So man to man,
right.
Full court.
They're man to man, full court.
Denial.
And maybe if they really don't want him to have the ball, they would sandwich him. And then whoever's man is taking the ball out, maybe would be actually with his back to the basket, and the guy that's covering him would be in a contained situation.
Yeah.
Now, so I can understand why they're trying to deny him.
Yes.
Okay. But he does a really nice job taking a step like he's going long, and then does a dribble.
Yep.
Face cut, basically, right? And that just created offense. So take a look. Watch how this breaks down, right? One step. You see, boom, and then they got it, and there it is. Now the game's over.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a 3-on-2.
Becomes a 3-on-2.
3-on-2 shooting.
So this to bring it back to local life. So Redwood girls, very important game against Acalanes. Late in the game, timeout, full court, same exact situation. They get the ball to Kitty White. They throw it kind of over the top to her going downhill. She goes coast to coast and layup and wins the game. And I was thinking at the time, like for the Acalanes coach, like the one thing you don't want to do is let her get downhill and get in front, get behind you. Just keep her in front of you, contain. And that's exactly what happened here.
Yeah. And the way we played that always was, so that I'm a cautious guy, was just to stay contained, right? Keep the guy in front of you. Don't run along the side, because you'll see what will happen in a couple of these others. Guys get a step on you and you're not in front.
Right.
So now you can shoot a layup, or you can get a clean shot with a guy on the side, instead of just keep him in front.
Now, once he has the ball and he's going downhill.
Before that, would you have played it like this defensively? Would you have, because they're now full court man, they got a guy, pressuring the inbounder. There's a big guy that's like at the top of the key who's going to end up setting a screen for Sturts. Would you maybe have let the big guy catch the ball and then doubled, as we talked about,
either that or I would have not put a man on the ball. There's no need. It's 10 seconds because they're not going to throw it long.
8.9, right?
Yeah. Or 9 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they're not going to throw it long.
So you put him in on the ball because you want to make it tough vision for him to throw it long.
Yeah, but the man can run too.
Exactly.
Right.
Is after a made basket.
Yeah. After a made basket. So I think, like, if you really didn't want Search to get the ball, I think you sandwich him.
Yeah.
Right.
And then everyone's back.
And everyone's back. Right. And you allow people to catch the ball in front of you with their back to the basket, which takes a second or two then to run something else. I think maybe the fear was that some of these plays, if there's a direct pass, let's say to the big guy, and then the loop around, so the big guy catches it, then passes it forward, because that's sort of a standard,
a hook and ladder.
Yeah, it's a sort of a standard, in a game situation play.
Yes,
but you can't let him get the ball going to his dominant hand.
No,
curling at speed,
going downhill.
It's
that. So now once he gets it,
right? Yeah. Well, once he gets it,
So now you're first of all you're kind of screwed, but once he gets it,
he's open right there. Boom.
Good pass. Now what should defenders do? Now it's easy for us to say sitting here in San Antonio Avenue. In the game, it's harder, but you're up 2. Death is a 3, you lose the game. Terrible, but not death, is you give up a 2.
Right. Yeah.
You're guarding the guy in the corner. Should you stay with him or do you help?
Well, I think how you're trained kicks in. Like, you're not going to think that.
Right.
You're just not. You're going to go stop the ball, because since you've been a little guy,
you stop the ball.
You stop the ball, right?
Every drill that we do.
The guy maybe he overcommitted. Take a look. He's way out and meets the guy.
He was kind of in no man's land.
Yeah.
The defender was kind of gapping it a little bit, but
he came too early, I think. And look, there's this defender here underneath the hoop who's really guarding no one. Like, he should be rotating.
Right. And he does rotate out, but it's too late.
It's just too slow.
Yeah.
And I do like how Sturts, we were debating this before we started recording. He threw a bounce pass. So on one hand, I liked it because you guard against the deflection. Duffy, you were saying as a shooter.
Well, look,
Hard-
that's kind of a
vision-wise.
tough catch. Look, like he's reaching back for it. Like
Yeah.
it's not feeding right into
Not right in the
his
shooting
pocket.
pocket. Yeah.
But he did a good job with his footwork, though. Like,
Boy, he really did do a good job with his footwork. Watch this.
yeah, he's
Boom.
done
And he
it.
just, nothing
Beautiful.
but net.
Yeah, and it's really easy to fade out of bounds as you shoot that, right? Because you're kind of catching. You got to bring the ball back around, and it's hard to be like on balance. But
And how many times have they done that drill?
yeah,
Right.
How many times have they done that drill? Nobody does a 3-on-2 drill for shooting for a layup. No, exactly. It's just like that's the layup now.
It's a layup. That's the modern layup.
Yeah. Whack.
Yeah.
That was pure.
Well, it was a great game.
well, let's go, Dave. Let's just see the last play for Florida because they still have 4 seconds left here, and that's
Absolutely.
the full length of the court.
And again, I think, there's your cut across, but they contained.
So this
Right.
is Xavier Lee, the Princeton transfer.
He had a shot there.
He had a shot, and he
The
ended up
help was a little late,
not taking it. Right.
Yeah. but the help made him pass it. Whereas I think we're going to take a look at another game where there is no help at
There's
all.
a couple games
Yeah.
where there's no
Yeah.
help.
No help at all.
So maybe the question is, and I don't know how much time is left on the clock. If you do shoot it, does that give you an opportunity for a tip in?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know how much time was left.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
So-
see another game where that
Yeah.
is kind of a key play, right? They tip in,
Right.
at off of a drive, which is strong.
Although man did get dislodged twice.
Yeah.
On the push.
Right.
And then the hold down and the tip.
Yep.
All right. So, Coach,
Yeah, go ahead.
let's see. Duke LSU women, Kentucky versus Santa Clara, St. John's versus Kansas.
You're
Duke
cool. I'm
versus-
good with any of those.
Let's
They're
go
all good.
Kentucky, Santa Clara. I like
All
this.
right.
That was a good one.
Okay, let's go. All right,
This
yeah.
was one where I was on a plane coming back from New York, and I was getting text messages from all of you, and the text messages I was receiving as I couldn't watch the game was, "Wow, oh no, no way," and I said, "Please explain to me what is happening."
And I was at Top Golf in Nashville with a bunch of buddies, and we had just finished our Top Golf, and we were on our way out, and we saw this game was like down in the last 20 seconds. So
So you stopped
we
to
all
watch it.
piled in to watch.
Yeah.
So, incredible game. Santa Clara had just a great game plan against Kentucky. I mean, Sendek is a phenomenal coach.
Yeah. And they ran this play on both sides.
Look at that move by.
Yeah.
So this is Kentucky tying the game at 70, and a great dribble drive was that Owe, and now Santa Clara gets a kick out for 3.
Yeah. A little.
So Santa Clara hits a 3 to go up 3 with 2.4 seconds left. And then Kentucky, quick inbounds, and they make a 40-footer off the glass to send it into overtime. So the interesting thing here is if you watch, when Santa Clara hits their 3 to go up with 2.4 seconds left, Sendek is frantically trying to get a timeout,
Let's see.
right? You can
And
see him
also the
run
guy
down
take-
the sideline.
The guy taking the ball out at first pauses. And so he's not really out of bounds. And that point he is, but the split second before that, and that's when Sendek, you need time to do, and he has it up.
Timeout. He's calling timeout because he wants to set up his defense.
Right. And
Would you have done that? Would you have called timeout if you were him? No, he didn't. He wasn't granted the timeout. But do you think that was the right call to set up your defense, or would you rather just let him go?
I think you up 3, why not?
Yeah.
I think call timeout.
Because
Because
then
that way you can foul.
You can foul.
Yeah.
Right. You get everybody on the same page. I mean, that's the obvious answer, right?
And one thing that's really interesting is that if you look at both these last scores, the first one with Kentucky, I mean that was a good set play, and this is a set play too.
Yeah.
You can tell,
Pick and pop.
a little pick and pop.
Ghost.
They have practiced that. That okay, end of the game, they knew exactly what they were into. Really well coached. There was no hesitation to knock it down at all. I mean, they knew what to do.
So this
Right?
is this
They're
totally.
as they're coming down court. I'm sure these two guys are communicating with each
Yep.
other.
I mean, teams are running this. So the action that Santa Clara runs here, it's
10
kind of
seconds to go.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Santa Clara, it's a
Inbound
tie
the
game.
ball.
They bring it up, and it's really just a 2-man game
Right.
where it's a ghost, right? So it's kind of like he pretends like he's going to set a screen, sprints to space on the wing, gets it, catch and shoot. Everybody's running that action.
But again, there's nobody in front. And see how the defender was running alongside
Yep.
But again, that's sort of a little bit of a scramble situation after a bucket. My other question is, and I don't know if this. Usually, the rule of thumb is that you get 1 dribble per second. and he got 3 dribbles.
Oh, interesting. You think
I think the
clock was
might have been a
little slow?
If it's a half second slow, you lose.
let's see. Let's look at the clock.
Because the rule of thumb is you get 1 dribble per second.
So the ball goes in at 2.4. The clock stops.
Now, when does it start? Did it start on time?
It looked pretty close.
Pretty close. Okay.
Why did the clock stop there?
It does in college now.
Okay.
On a main basket.
Only in the second half, not in the first half.
Interesting.
Oh, wow. That's
Well, it was an incredible shot. It was. Look, at the end of the day, it's a kid just made a ridiculous
I don't think
shot.
Santa Clara did anything wrong.
No. I mean, it's as a Santa Clara fan, you would be frustrated that you didn't get the timeout.
Right.
sometimes as a coach, you're telling the officials, if this happens, I'm taking a timeout. But he didn't have an opportunity to do that because
such a back and forth.
I will say one thing, and this is maybe the difference between, and it's not that the NCAA referees aren't any good, because they are, but after a bucket like that, or every NBA official looks at the coach.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
They're looking right away. They're trained to look at the coach
Just
for
make
a time.
sure.
Yeah.
We should
On both sides.
We should get Mike's side of opine on that.
And and again, I'm not picking
Right.
the officials, but you really should take a look
Yes.
at the coach.
It's unmistakable when you watch the film that Sendek was
Oh yeah, no question.
and didn't get it.
Yeah.
But that still, Kentucky, that's a 40-footer bank shot.
Bank shot.
Right.
I mean, it's
and so, give him credit for making the shot, but
this is exactly why we talk about this all the time. When you're up 3 late, this is why a lot of coaches like to foul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To send them to the line, and the execution risk on a make the first one, miss the second, get the putback. It's really tough.
Santa Clara was in the bonus, so Kentucky goes to the line, shoot 2 in that situation, maybe has a chance for a tip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great game.
Yeah, it was kind of heartbreaking on
And great season for Santa Clara.
I thought they were really good.
They were really, really good. Yep. Beat St. Mary's in the conference championship. Awesome.
Yeah, tough one. Kentucky ends up winning that game in overtime, of course. All right, I'm going to take us to St. John's and Kansas, another second round matchup.
Great game.
Another great game. St. John's, the 5 seed, up with 23 seconds to go on Kansas, the 4 seed. At this point, St. John's has given up 9 fouls. Kansas has given up over 10. Oh, no, sorry.
No,
take that back.
Kansas only had 2.
Kansas only has 2.
This is the situation where, okay, so coach.
Just
23 seconds to go.
One thing though. St. John's was up 14 with 7 minutes to go. So Kansas chipped away to put themselves in a position to at least get into overtime.
A lot of offensive rebounds when that comes, right? Yeah, they really, they
and they got stopped.
Yeah, and they got stops. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think, again, there's a lot of buildup before these plays.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
And St. John's was up 4 with like a minute 20 left.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's right.
It was really.
Pearson got fouled,
kind of a clear out. It started, as a balanced set, but then they run guys out of the right side so he can get to his right. There's a double team there, but he gets fouled and he goes to line with 13 seconds left.
But let's stop for 1 second. So at this point, coach, you're Kansas. You're starting to chip away at this lead. It's late. At some point, should some assistant coach go to Bill Self and say, hey, we only have 2 fouls? Should we pick up a few to get closer to the bonus if we need to? Or do you not?
And Mike used to do that at MC. If he was down in the fourth quarter, let's say 8 or something like that, and they've only committed 2 fouls, I don't know why that always happened with Mike's teams, but I'm kidding you, Mike. I'm kidding you.
He knew how to talk to the refs.
He knew more than the refs. But he would then put in a couple subs. They would commit pick up up to 6 or something like that. And so that,
just for the option value of if we need it,
right?
And it ended up so here Peterson gets fouled. There's 13 seconds left. He makes both foul shots.
Yep. Right now we're tied at 65, and Kansas has only given up 2 fouls.
So St. John's has the ball, tie game, 13 seconds left. And now Kansas starts to foul because they want to slow them down.
But so in watching this game, the first thing I said was he fouled too soon. There was no need to foul that quickly. Again, just stay contained and keep the guy in front of you take 2-3 seconds, foul. Yeah. Next time,
interesting.
take 2-3 seconds and foul. Now you're at 6 seconds, let's say.
This one, they're a little better.
7. They did a little bit better.
So ultimately, they foul 4 times, and the last possession that St. John's had was 3.9 seconds left.
Right.
Before we go to that, would you have fouled 4 times, or would you have fouled 3 times? Because all 4 seemed like they were planned.
I would have done exactly what he did.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I would have fouled until you get to the before the bonus.
But don't you want to give yourself an opportunity to foul, like on
Right.
that last drive?
on that last drive,
you
to
have
take a foul.
If you have
I
to.
kind of thought about that.
I don't know.
Again, is that being too clever? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I did think about that. Like, okay, if you had a foul in your hip pocket, right, to give, guy goes downhill and at 2.6, you foul him, and now they take the ball out on the side at the top of the key.
I was just thinking be as disruptive as possible so they have as little time as possible to run their action.
Yeah.
Which is what they ultimately traded, okay, we'll take this last foul because we're going to knock off another 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And
But
we'll
they-
make that trade.
4 fouls in 10 seconds. They didn't do
They didn't do
not
enough.
a very good
Right.
job.
So they gave him
Yeah.
essentially 4
You
seconds.
left the door open just enough.
All right, so
then-
let's look at this play because I want to get your take on the defense
Oh.
here. So we're going to have to, I think I'll pop forward in a second here.
Well,
All right,
I mean,
so
all you have to
3.9
do is
seconds.
Did St. John's call timeout? Is that right?
I don't
yeah,
think
and there was a discussion between the point guard and Patino.
Darling
So
and
they basically
Patino.
take it out at midcourt.
Yeah, look at Peterson. Like,
And then
what did
was
you
he
do?
doing?
so the St. John's point guard gets the ball just in the backcourt, middle third, and then just penetrates to his right.
And they wanted him to do
They wanted
because
him to
he's
do.
left-handed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So they
he's
forced him to
really,
weak.
Yeah, to his weak hand. Maybe a little too much because, again, you see that he's on the
Where's
side.
the help side?
But see how he opened the gate? But you couldn't foul.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying Duff,
Yeah.
Duff is right. Maybe
Maybe you
if
save
can-
one.
If you save one, you foul at the foul line.
Yeah.
1 second left.
Right.
And they take it sideline out of bounds. It makes it a little harder.
So Coach, what do you think about the help side here?
Well,
or lack
Jesus,
thereof?
watch Peterson on this. He's just god awful.
So where's Peterson? Where's he guarding?
Yeah, he's down low.
He's down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And watch him just turn his head. Like, it didn't even enter his mind to get in a gap and maybe stunt and make the guy kick it out
Yeah.
or something like that. He
Yeah.
just turns his head and watches like, well, good luck, the defender. Watch this. I mean,
So reminder, this is a tie game. So any
Yeah.
bucket hurts you. It's not like they're up 2 and they give up a layup. Okay, we go to overtime. Here it's just you gotta stop the ball. Or it's over.
So I'll break down what St. John's is doing. So they've got someone on the at the block, and they got someone on the right wing. Darling's going to catch the ball in the backcourt. They've got a big guy who's going to come up and look like he's going to set a screen, but he's actually just going to ghost it out of the play to take the shot.
Yep.
The rim protector out of the play, and then the wing and the block are going to interchange, and Peterson is going to jump to the wing, allow the corner to be wide open, and yet also not help on the drive. And so Darling gets all the way to the basket with so Peterson is neither helping on the shot or on the drive. Yeah, it was
watch this.
yeah, he's like
What?
they both go to the guy on the wing.
Same guy.
The guy in the corner was actually open too.
Yeah.
They had 2 opportunities to win that. That probably was enough time to kick it. Maybe there wasn't, but
And it's funny. Darling at that point was not having a good game.
no,
Right?
no.
Well, it's a little easier situation because if you miss a shot, you go into overtime.
You go into overtime.
Yeah.
Right. Very true.
So, but it was a straight line drive. Like, just keep him in front, make him shoot a jump shot. And especially if you're shading him to his right, he has to come back to his left hand and you're already there. Like, you can bother a shot, make him shoot a pull up or something like that.
So the most impressive thing to me in this whole thing was Patino's stoic reaction to the game winner.
I've been here before.
Just almost like remember when Villanova won the national title and Jay Wright just kind of walks down, like, classy, don't celebrate. But, you see Dan Hurley, we'll get to Hurley's jumping up and down, hugging the ref, right? It's just like, Patino was amazing.
See there was a camera on Hurley's mom.
Yeah.
And she just said, no.
No effing way.
We'll get to that one. One thing about this, and Coach Vasquez and I went back and forth a bunch on this particular play, because there were some games this year where our half court defense was absolute no help. Like it's a man on man. You have your guy
By design.
Yeah. By design, you're allowing them to go to their weak hand.
Yes.
And make them finish with their weak hand.
Right.
Don't give up a corner three.
As opposed to helping off the corner, give it up a three.
And so I would say we had some mixed results with that. Lucas Lau, kind of torched us, with that approach. He finishes really well with his offhand.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it almost looked like that was their defense.
Yeah.
But when it only takes a 2 to beat you in a tie game, you probably should be playing some help defense. That's my take.
You just can't allow a straight line drive like that. I mean, it was just, and then again, if Peterson just even shows his body, he can get out there and
just
make him make another play.
Little stunt.
Honestly, it did not even enter his mind. I can tell you that just because I know.
You've coached him.
It did not enter his mind.
And he doesn't get paid for that, I guess.
Yeah. All right, that was a good one. What's next, Duff?
All right, let's go to the women.
Great game.
LSU 2 versus a 3. Do you want to paint the picture here, Dave?
Yeah. So Duke LSU. This was a great game. This was actually in Sacramento. Our friend KK was at the game. So LSU up 1. Actually, right now it's 2.6 seconds, but they were up 1. It was even more time. I think they were up 1 with 10 something seconds left.
Oops. Let's see.
So
9 seconds. Yeah.
So with 9 seconds left. Yeah.
This is a nice play here. Nice kick.
So maybe, and I'm going to throw this on it, Dave, because you can advance the ball in the women's game now, right?
Yeah.
Right. Same thing in the WNBA.
Yes.
So maybe you go for a 3 because the clock stops and you can advance.
Yeah.
And so if you're only up 1.
So here's the situation. LSU's up 1 with 9 seconds left.
Yeah.
Duke's got the ball. And KK and I were texting about this at the time. So Duke is down 1 with 9 seconds left. They have a great post player in Toby Fournier, who's 20 a game. Actually, it's interesting, Duff, I was going to tell you earlier, about 20 seconds prior to this, Duke needed a bucket, and they ran the play that you guys always run for Chase Williams, which is just Fournier was at the high elbow. They run the rip screen for block to elbow, down to low block. On the block, she's really good.
Yeah.
I was very much expecting them to go to her here. Carol Lawson calls timeout, and they run up a play for a 3.
Yeah.
They miss.
Well, do you think it was a play for a 3?
Hands down.
Sure. Look.
It was a penetrate,
draw
everybody in, kick to the corner, corner 3, good shooter.
Hammer screen,
missed, goes out of bounds. Now there's 2.4 or something left. You're like, okay, under the basket, surely they're going to try and just get a layup. And they run an elevator for a 3, down 1. And coach, to your point, you're saying because they can advance the ball, maybe that's why.
But maybe not the last time, but the one before, okay, I can understand. But
so watch this. I mean, you watch this. This is the one with 9 seconds left.
Yeah,
watch, she drives.
And again, but if you can see the look around and how it created some offense again. It was very similar to that, to the Florida game.
Yeah.
When you're chasing, when you're chasing and
exactly
trailing a little bit, with what you're taught.
Yes.
There's no show there.
Right.
And so it's like, the person who received the ball was able to get downhill right away, and it did create some good offense.
So then there was 2.6 seconds left. They have a baseline out of bounds play, and they run a really nice little action. They do a little loop. They're in a stack, and then they get an elevator to the wing, and she catches, does a little ball fake, step back, and she drains the 3, and they win the game.
If you're a coach for LSU there on the blob, 2.6 seconds, you consider changing your defensive approach.
Like what, going zone?
Yeah.
If you haven't done it all game.
How many timeouts?
And you haven't done it all year, I say no. And if you haven't done it, I mean, somebody's going to mess up.
What would you do on that elevator? How would you defend that elevator?
I don't know, but I watched Michigan run an elevator was ridiculous on a baseline out of bounds play. It was a double elevator, basically.
So there's another timeout taken.
Yeah.
So that LSU timeout now. So now
maybe you come out with a zone.
Yeah. So now let's see if they defend it any differently. So they're matched up like man to man on the stack, the defender on the inbounder, is, facing, sort of neutrally, not denying the pass, but taking away the cut to the basket. And now LSU is going to talk it over, and are they going to change their approach?
But Jonas, at this level, I mean, when you were, prolific, essentially college basketball,
Right.
At this level, they've scouted every out of bounds play, right? So Mulkey sees the lineup. They're in the stack. They're in a line. Somebody knows what they're going to run. I would guess. So maybe that's why she called that second timeout, was just say, okay, here's what we're expecting.
We're switching or not switching.
Switching or not switching. Yeah. You fight over the elevator, whatever. I mean, look, the tricky part, they're only up ones. You can't give up a layup, right? Yeah. So if you switch it, you run the risk of them slipping.
Yeah.
But watch this out. It's a really nice action. They like loop around and then they get the elevator.
Yeah, loop. She does a great job of getting through the elevator. And
it wasn't a clean look.
Yeah.
So
Michigan ran something very similar to that.
Yeah.
And they may have copied that elevator, right? So it's like a double, because the person first I goes through this way, and then the person on the loser, I don't know. Yeah. It's very clever.
It's clever. But Duff, you're right. She didn't really get a clean look.
Yeah.
No.
The initial got through the elevator. The doors were supposed to close, and actually didn't close.
They didn't.
LSU got through it, but just a great gather,
shot
fake, and
not a panic shot.
Yeah. But just interesting again that down one, modern game, you go for 2 times. They go for threes.
Yeah. I will say that if there was a trend, if you want to talk about trends in the men's game and the women's game, I think it's always been there. The teams that are getting into the Final Four are not shooting that many threes. I think they can shoot the three.
Yeah.
But I mean, they all have a pretty power inside game, don't you think?
That's interesting there. Yeah.
Huge. I mean,
very true.
They get layups.
Yeah. Well, honestly, my favorite team to watch this whole tournament has been the Michigan men.
They're really good.
They are a clinic on one more.
Yeah.
Sharing the ball.
Yeah, boy.
Lendenborg is incredible, but man, he does not force. He lets the game come to him. He went the first couple minutes of that last game, he didn't even take a shot.
Yeah.
And then he ends up, he got his, but it's just, they're really fun. But you're right. They don't rely on the three. They make them.
Yeah.
But it's not like
it's
the fabric of their offense.
Well, it's not like Alabama.
Right.
So I wonder if
the trends are changing.
Trend is changing a little bit.
Yeah.
It's becoming less of a math game and more of, it's a sure thing to get layups.
Well, one interesting contrast to bring it back home. Duffy, your MC game against Doherty Valley, right? Doherty Valley beat you guys. A great game in a NorCal Open or NCS Open game. How many threes did they shoot?
Less than 10. Less than 10, yeah. Which was their game plan, and they knew they had an advantage one-on-one,
right?
And they knew that we were not going to help very much off of the drive, and they just executed the game plan really well.
Yeah. Whereas you guys, obviously your offense predicated on the three and transition and getting it was just a really interesting contrast in styles.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe the era of the three is.
I'm wondering, and Gino came out and said something the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, about listening to the shooting percentages from three in the games that were played that day. Was that a Sweet 16 or an Elite?
Yeah,
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
I guess Angela Ballard.
Duffy's wife just walked by.
Yeah, well, it was Williams College. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Gino.
Got her purple.
Yeah. Hi, Angela. Gino was talking about. Gino has been very vocal about how the women's NCAA tournament, just the logistics of it, is not fair to the players. Like the men's game, this is Gino's opinion, but I don't think he's wrong. The men's game gets just an advantage in terms of the timing, when the games are played, the logistics. And so he was saying that you look at the shooting percentages of the games, these are all really good teams.
Yeah.
And everybody's shooting 25% from threes. Like, why do you think that is? Because our shoot around was at 6 a.m. this morning, and we had media at 7 o'clock last night. Like, these kids they're not setting these players up for success.
You know what else I loved about it? Talk about old school.
Yeah.
You talked about the balls being new, the rims being hard.
The balls are overinflated. So
right.
You're seeing these kids, these players, these really good players.
I'm with him on that.
Bouncing the ball off their knee.
I am with him on that. I really am.
Gino's great.
Yeah.
He gives no fucks. Okay, he's just at this point, he's won, 18 national titles.
He can say whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah. But that was interesting. So you wonder, okay, in the Final Four, are we going to see fewer threes? Are they going to try and manufacture more points? I don't know.
Well, the other reason for playing the bigs is like defensively, you can cover up a lot on drives when you have teams like Arizona, Michigan that have like 7-2 guys, but they also have like a couple 6'10" guys.
Right.
Just, you watch Purdue like try and get anything going inside against Arizona, like they couldn't.
Right.
And then they were face guarding Lawyer, so he didn't get off. And so Braden Smith kind of had to create everything for them, and he ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
He didn't really score much in the second half till the end, right?
Hey, that's a great segue. Why don't we talk about Purdue, Texas?
Okay, perfect. All right, I got it queued up, Dave.
My boy Jordan Pope,
All right, so this game,
prolific guy.
Yeah.
He's
So-
a great kid. Bay Area.
Purdue's going to make 2 free throws with 19.4 seconds left. They are going to be up 3, 77-74. Purdue has given 8 fouls. Texas has given 10 plus, so bonus for Purdue. And so one question is going to be, when you're up 3, if you are Purdue, are you going to be fouling as Texas?
So there's 19 seconds left. Purdue's up 3, Texas ball.
And Purdue could foul here.
But hold on, let's pause it.
Yeah.
Coach, so now let's say 15, 20 seconds left. You're up 3. It's too early to foul, correct?
That's what most people say, right?
Paul Trevor said
yeah,
under 6 seconds
yeah,
or 7
right.
seconds.
Exactly. Right.
So I'm okay with them not fouling at this point.
But they will end up fouling, Dave.
But not
just
the way that they wanted to.
Not the way they intended to.
Way to bury the lead enough.
It's
So
a nice
Texas
drive.
penetrates.
I
With
don't
12 seconds left, they get an and one. It's kind of the worst case scenario for Purdue. So Texas scores and fouled, and he goes to the line.
and maybe not a foul, kind of contact created by offense, but a nice finish. All right, so
He makes the free throw. Back to my Texas had made a couple of free throws, clutch free throws earlier to kind of claw back.
11.9.
Braden Smith, best point guard in the country, arguably with the ball. You know he's going to take it. They kind of clear out for him. He penetrates, misses.
Look at that push. Watch the
But
dislodge.
Kaufman ran with the put back to win it.
Watch out. And he gets dislodged twice and then gets held down. One push, it's really blatant. Now, I'm not saying you call it.
You think Kaufman Ren was an offensive foul here?
Twice, maybe 3 times.
Okay.
1, 2,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
3, and then holds him down and tips.
You're right.
The second one for sure.
Before that, though, there's a nice little action here with Kaufman Wren. And let's go back here where they look again. It looks like they're going to set a ball screen.
But he goes it.
He goes.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody runs this action.
And it's actually a really nice move by Smith. Watch him go to his left and right. Boom, boom, right?
Yeah.
Freezes the defender.
It's tough luck for Texas. Watching
And Texas had the right guy on him in terms of the athlete.
Yep. So that's, again, an example where offensive rebound wins the game.
Yeah. You know, back in the old days, it's the one thing I kind of, you go to clinics and I think it might have been Al McGuire or somebody like that. And it was just like, almost always lose. Of course, shooters weren't quite as good then, or maybe they were, but I don't know if it was just different. But you got to get the defensive rebound, but it's also why you shoot with 6 seconds left, right?
To give
Or
yourself a
5
chance.
seconds left, so you give you a chance at an offensive rebound.
Yep.
And so many games have been lost on offensive rebounds. We lost a NorCal game against Valley Christian. Game was tied, and they took a long shot with maybe 6 seconds, 7 seconds left, and it bounced all the way out to the free throw. Kid chases it down, turns around, heaves it, and makes a 3, and the game's over.
Yeah.
At the buzzer. 2 seconds left.
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Well, this is a great game. Purdue was a really fun team to watch this year because of with the seniors. The guards were great. Painter does just an awesome job. In this day and age, to have 3 really good players stay 4 years is kind of unheard of.
Well, except that each one of those guys probably made more money staying than if they would have gone to the pros and either been a undrafted free agent or maybe a.
But you don't think?
Round pick.
I don't know, but you don't think Braden Smith could have made more money going to another school? Like if he hits the portal?
But how much more?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
But still, the fact that he stayed, reflects
well
on Painter.
He's also wanted to play for Painter, and he enjoyed college and had a little better perspective. I get all that.
Yeah, you're right though.
A lot of these guys might have just made more money by staying.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to just see older and older teams. Patino last year. We're not at all going to
freshmen.
recruit any freshmen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And maybe that's Duke's great strength, but it's also their weakness.
3 straight years. That's a great segue. Why don't we talk about Duke and UConn, Duffy?
Talk about Duke and
Okay.
UConn. Yeah, so that game just happened yesterday.
Yep, fresh in our minds.
And I was out playing basketball, but had the game on my phone watching and, had turned it off for a while because Duke was up 19 in the first half and it looked like they were cruising, but then was alerted that the game had become close. So we're going to pick it up here. Duke is up 1, 35 seconds to go. They have the ball. And now Boozer, like in today's game, it's going to be like your center getting a ball screen.
Cameron Boozer, the big one.
Yeah, Cameron.
The good one.
Yeah. Good
Just
spin
kidding.
back.
They're both good.
Some contact.
He's better.
Significantly.
Yeah,
All right, so let's pause here. 28 seconds to go.
Duke's up 3.
Duke's up 3. And so 28 seconds, or 29 seconds actually. What are you doing here, Coach, in terms of if you're UConn? Because I think I didn't really like their approach for the next 19 seconds here. But what do you think?
No, they
Call timeout.
I think I can't remember.
Let's see. So they advance.
Yeah, I think they
do.
did call timeout.
Yeah.
I think
Okay, so they get the ball across half court. They
Yeah.
call it. So there's 27 seconds left. They're down 3. Coach, go ahead. Take us into the huddle with Danny Hurley.
Well, I mean, I think either a quick 2 or you run your action for a 3, right? But but get something. I would argue with that much time, try to get something downhill.
So both teams are in the bonus.
Yeah.
So UConn has 7 fouls. So you get a quick 2. You're down 1. You got a lot of game left. You can put them on the line if you need to. You take a 3 and you miss.
It could be the game.
That's a tough situation.
Right.
So seems like now let's remember, UConn up to this point they were like 1 for 18 from 3. And then they started to make a couple,
Yeah,
right?
they
Caravan made a big one.
Yeah, they ran
one now.
Well, if you
right?
you know what they did was they put the big Boozer in action a few times.
Yes.
He was gassed.
Yes. He was Cameron was tired.
He was really, really tired, and he just couldn't get out on the first 3 that Carabin made.
Caravan. Yep.
Yeah.
So
He just
anyway,
couldn't. So anyhow, go ahead.
Let's see what they do here.
see what they do.
Okay.
Danny Hurley did not seem happy with their execution. If you watch him, he never seems
That's
happy.
it.
But so they're kind of running. They're looking like they're going to run an action, pick and roll.
Can't tell if they're
They
going
switch
badly
it.
or
Then
not.
they switch. Then they do an away
Yeah.
screen. Now they get it to Caravan up top. They're just kind of lost.
Yeah. And I thought at that point that was not a bad foul.
Right. So then Duke fouls with 10 seconds left.
But
UConn-
not intentional.
Not intentional.
No.
I don't know.
That was a tired foul.
Misses
I
the
can't
first
cover
one,
you.
makes the second. So now they're down to 10 seconds left. Okay. Duke inbounding the ball up to 10 seconds left. Shire does not call timeout.
Correct. Because I'm guessing is it you must have saved that timeout if they can't get it in.
And also, would you argue, don't call
Probably-
timeout doesn't let them set up their press?
Right. And they probably know what to do.
You would think.
And they did. Like they did break the press.
Okay. We
All right,
that's we can argue about that. So
But UConn is not immediately fouling. either.
UConn's not
No,
fouling.
They're not immediately fouling.
No.
10
and,
seconds.
and again, they're in the bonus. They're down 2. So the Duke inbounds the ball. UConn really arguably could have fouled Boozer right here.
But what's Boozer does,
yeah.
he
They did.
sends
They
a
got rid of
bounce
it.
pass.
So they get the ball to the middle of the floor to Caden Boozer, who Jonas has some experience coaching against. And Boozer is double teamed in the middle of the floor.
And he's got 2 guys that are wide open deep. If he makes this pass over the top, the game's over.
So this takes me back to the Branson Gym, 1992, and Jonas Honick running a practice with 2-on-2 passing, my favorite drill.
Yep.
Oof.
Fake-
Man, I didn't realize
Yeah.
they went all the way back to 92.
Oh, come on. We can
Got to
keep
fake
going.
one to make one.
Two.
Fake a pass to make a pass.
Right.
Yeah.
And defense, I also think of my days on the Stanford bench with Tar Vanderveer. My job, Duffy, do you remember my job? To track deflections. And here's where a deflection,
What's the
Boozer
game for you.
Boozer does not ball fake.
And he takes a dribble first too, so he doesn't even catch and evaluate.
Yep.
So like you got to catch and evaluate in that situation.
Deflection, turnover, live ball turnover.
And then they get 2 passes here. Which,
And then Caravan makes an absolutely amazing heads up play. He doesn't force it. He kicks it back to Mullins, right? Is it Mullins?
Yeah, Mullins.
Yeah, the
Freshman.
Yeah.
And he makes about a 28-footer, just pure
I'll
Right
go
away.
35.
And you saw that come off his hand. Like,
Well,
I was like,
It was just
even
pure.
on my phone, I'm like, wow, that looks like it's good.
He can shoot it.
And if
Yeah.
you do look at it, he has his hands ready. So
Yeah.
like he's made this shot before.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh.
not quite that deep, but there's a lot of time in the gym. Watch it. He has his hands ready.
Yeah.
See
So
that?
right.
Boom.
And
He
catch-
just like,
And I'd say
that was
Evans
just
could have
just put a hand up.
could have put a hand up.
Could have put it. I'm not sure it makes a difference.
But this is where experience is really cool. Like, you think, everybody just watch this play. Watch Caravan when he gets the ball. So there's this chaos. They get this live ball turnover. There's 3 or 4 seconds left in the game. Think about yourself in that situation. You'd be like, oh shit, I got to shoot the ball.
right.
But he doesn't. He takes his time, finds his open
100%.
teammate,
Yeah.
and makes that one more.
Well,
You see
even
it?
it's like Mullins doesn't take a dribble when he gets the ball.
Yeah.
Say there are 2 passes without a dribble and then a shot. So
Just-
that led,
Amazing execution.
because Mullins easily could have got that deflection, taken a couple dribbles.
Totally,
steamed
right.
it. Like that was, that's great instinctual play because can't really,
And probably somewhat rehearsed.
you think?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
For sure.
As was Hurley's drop in the sport code afterwards.
Hurley had an embrace with the ref. I mean, he was all over the place. Okay, so let's talk about Duke. So, Coach, your view is Duke did what they were supposed to do. They broke the press. UConn made a play.
Yeah.
My sense
Well,
was,
no, I think Caden,
Caden, just hold the ball.
I mean, first of all, he cut the ball and he put it on the ground.
Right.
It's like,
They're going to foul you.
Yeah.
Right? Just relax. Now, easy for me to say. But
he's played in a lot of big games, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the dribble was
You would expect more.
I mean that they won the national championship last year in high school, the 2 of them,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
They played in a lot of big games. They've won their age group in the EYBL 4 years in a row. They've played,
Yeah.
they've been the best team in Florida. They were the best team in Florida for 3 years.
Yeah. Now, you coached when you were at Prolific. You coached against the
We
Wizards.
We did. And our defensive strategy was just to jam and go under. In other words,
on the pick and roll. So
the
when
pick and rolls,
when
yeah.
Cameron, the big guy, is setting the screen for Caden, his brother, the little guy,
they ran a lot.
you go
pick
under
and
it
pop.
because you're like, okay, Caden, go ahead and shoot that 3.
Right. And the other thing is that he can be pressured.
Clearly,
Yeah.
as we can
He
see
can be
here.
pressured. Like he's a really good player. Like I don't want to take anything away from him, but they really needed a veteran player. No Foster, just really, I think he just couldn't play.
Okay, so
He just
let's
couldn't play. It was obvious.
so
He was in there.
the blogosphere, everybody today is saying, okay, John Shire, that's 3 straight years, which I agree. I think it's bullshit, but it's 3 straight years where he's had a big lead in either a Final Four or an Elite 8 game, and they've lost it.
Okay.
So how much of that is coaching and how much of that is...
So let's take it one game before this. In the first half, UConn was up 19
Yes.
on Michigan State. Michigan State came back to take the lead.
Yeah.
So that's just what happens in basketball.
It's basketball.
Yeah, it's basketball.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Peyton Malarkey junior year, right? Vic's senior year, we're down 15 in the first half at Redwood in the MCAL championship.
Real well. Peyton, you were pulling Peyton out of that game, and then he ends
And
up
he makes shot.
makes
Right.
a corner 3.
He makes a corner
Yeah.
3, right? But the point is that,
Yeah.
being up in the first half doesn't mean much. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. I mean, there's plenty of time to come back. And the pressure, they had 8 live ball turnovers for 16 points.
Yeah.
Points off turnovers in the second half. Then have any of those turnovers in the first half. And so there was giveaway points.
Yeah.
And there might
coaches-
be a little toughness issue with the kind of kids that they're getting.
Yeah.
Maybe Shire's a little too forgiving.
But also,
A little bit.
is this you got
older
every year
kids.
you got 5 freshmen?
Yeah, you got older kids. I'll tell you this, at Prolific, my first year there, in fact, Trey White was playing.
Yep.
It was
Kansas.
Dembona
Yep.
played on that team.
UCLA. Yeah.
Jordan Pope was on that team, and there were a couple other guys, right?
Yeah.
And we played the 5th year team, Golden State Prep, whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
And they beat us 2 or 3 times, right? Because they were just older, they were hungrier, they were sharing the ball,
Yeah.
they were more physical, right? And And it was that was just a 1 year gap, right? If you have a 3 or 4 year gap, it just makes a difference. I mean, it really does. You can't blame Shire. I mean, he knows how to coach. And if the guys, like Shire didn't commit that turnover.
Right.
These guys were in the right position to win.
Yep.
I have a question. Like, if Boozer doesn't take that dribble, Caden Boozer, and he makes that pass ahead and Duke runs out the clock, essentially, is then Hurley being called out for not fouling earlier?
Of course.
Right.
So I was yelling foul.
Yeah.
I was.
So was I. When the initial inbound to Big Boozer,
right? Yeah.
Fouling. They had him there. Right.
But you notice he actually faked one to make one.
He did.
Went up and went under.
That's why he's going to be the number 1 pick. And Caden's going to be in the G League. I'm just kidding.
So it would have been 1-1 on the other end, right? And so 8 seconds to go.
Yeah,
take
your chances.
Take your chances.
Extend the game. Yeah. Like when you're down, you got to find a way to extend the game and give yourself more chances, right? But
a lot of things had to go right for UConn to win that game in that sscenario, right? They had to get a pretty cool, but maybe a little lucky deflection, and then they had to make 2 passes and hit a 35-footer from the March Madness logo.
You can understand that he would trust the smaller Boozer, Caden, in that respect, because he has played in big games,
right?
And has shown poise in big games before.
That's a good point.
And so I mean, I get that.
Although the final thing, so Duke's defense. So when they do make the turnover, and we all run like the scramble drills all the time. That was a classic scramble, and they didn't get a hand up on a shooter.
No, but Cam Boozer comes out and gets Caravan.
Yeah.
So he did scramble to that. Forces him to make an extra pass.
You're right.
And
And Evans was there, but didn't
get a hand up.
Didn't challenge.
Yeah.
Evans doesn't seem like he's a detailed guy. I mean that. I'm just watching him play.
Yeah.
He's talented though, man.
Really talented.
Yeah. Well, it was, just some great finishes, really interesting coaching decisions.
Look, sometimes you just have to be lucky. And Shire was right in terms like it doesn't come down to one play. It's like all these other plays that build up to that.
Yeah.
Build up to that. Like what happens if you win a 50-50 instead of losing a 50-50 at a crucial point, right? It keeps your run going or something like that. I mean, there's just so many plays that happen beforehand that.
And by the way, seconds prior, before we start talking about this, Duke, I forget what the score was, but Duke had a pretty big possession, and Cameron Boozer made a play. Made a big, huge basket to put him up.
A huge basket
to put him up 3, right?
It traveled.
Right.
But he got bumped and everything else.
Yeah, he got bumped. They were letting him play.
Yeah.
Could have gone either way on that play.
Yeah. Okay, we got one more?
We have time for one more? You've got time for one more, Coach? This is recommended by KK, who walked by right before we started recording. So this is Ole Miss and Minnesota 4-5 matchup.
Women's game?
Side. Yeah. All right, Dave. What do you got?
Okay.
Let's go backwards.
Well, right now, it looks like it's 63-63 with no time left.
3.5 seconds, tie game.
Boom.
Great baseline.
So sideline out of bounds play. Minnesota, the 4 seed, playing Ole Miss, the 5 seed. And they run a little nice action. They get a short corner, mid-range jumper, and Minnesota hits the shot. Let's watch one more time.
Yeah, curl off.
Off the screen.
Yeah, little curl off the screen here.
So how did Ole Miss defend this? Did they trail it?
I don't know, but the Ole Miss coach is really good, from what I remember.
No, they defended it pretty well.
Yeah.
It was a contested shot.
That was just a
curl
without a screen.
She got face cut. That was the problem. We moved back to.
But she was still between the basket and her man, or player. I'm sorry. What? Like she's still in a pretty good position.
She was in a good position.
Yeah.
She made
a tough shot.
Sometimes you just players make good shots.
But again, do you want to be that close up to the offense in that situation? It's kind of going back to Florida, Iowa. Like, do you really want to be pressuring? They're almost denying across the floor here all the way.
It's probably how they play.
I would think deny the inbound, right? Make it uncomfortable for them.
That's pretty good D.
That was good D. They were face guarding everybody. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So there was no help. That was a no help, but that's just kid made a really good shot.
Great composure. Could have
great.
once again, could have faded away initially, but kind of pounded the dribble, hesitated, got some balance, nailed that shot.
So taking a step back now in the tournaments. So as we went into the tournaments, the view was probably going to be pretty chalk heavy, right? In this day and age, the way the college game works, mid-majors get good players, they lose them.
Right.
The teams with the money get the players. So you definitely see it on the women's side. And here it is. So now we've got the men's Final Four is set. We've got Arizona's a 1 seed. Michigan's a 1 seed. UConn's a 2 seed. Illinois is a 3 seed.
And they're all at least $10 million programs.
You have the only quote unquote low seed that made it far was Iowa, a 9 seed that made it to the Elite 8.
Yeah, and they're probably a $5 or $6 million program.
Right. So
which means you're poor.
Exactly. So the days of the mid majors, the George Masons, those kind of teams making runs in the Final Four, are those days gone?
I don't know. Maybe. Look at Miami of Ohio. They
had a great season, 31 wins,
really good season, and they had a good season for a lot of reasons. They played together, they knew each other, they shared the ball.
Yep.
If for some reason you can keep guys together for maybe 2 years, you might have a shot as a mid-major.
Yeah.
But I think the poaching is, and you know what? If I'm a high school kid too, I'd go to a mid-major. If I'm not guaranteed, playing time, I don't care how much money they're guaranteeing you. Take Chase Butler.
I was just gonna say,
right?
Colorado
Go
State.
someplace where you're going to play, and the coaches believe in you, and they're going to give you the ball when it counts and stuff like that, and you're going to get better, and then make your money.
Right.
Go there for 2 years.
So Jace, as you remember, he was a guest. We love Jace. We root for him.
I think he was a great kid.
He was initially signed to go play for Brad Underwood at Illinois.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then he changed his mind, went to UW, played at Washington for a year.
In part because Illinois had been so productive in the portal. And then,
I think Trey White went there.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that was his minutes.
And then he went from Washington to Colorado State, had a great year at Colorado State.
Really good
this year.
And
now it'll be interesting to see what happens. Is he going to say? I don't
Where does he go next?
The portal opens up soon. We'll see. But that's an example, right? Where he, I think, intelligently made decisions. Now you look at a kid like Aiden Mahaney, who started at St. Mary's and was great at St. Mary's for 2 years. He then chased the money, arguably, went to UConn and didn't work out great.
Frizzled out a little bit.
Probably not tough enough to play for Hurley.
But certainly,
do you think
benefited financially?
Do you think he regrets it? Because he got 1 point?
I don't know. We should have him on.
Something,
he got like $1 million.
Yeah.
But he went to UConn. It didn't get a ton of minutes. Wasn't a great fit for him. And now he's at UC Santa Barbara. And I think he had a really good year at UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's a good place for him.
But could he have just stuck it out at St. Mary's and had a really good career? And maybe have a better chance at being a pro.
I think so too. Why not?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll sort out that way. Maybe people will start. The problem is these damn agents really push hard to,
of course,
get people's money, right?
Because that's the agent's financial incentive.
Right. And they just really push hard.
Yeah.
There's this kid, Paul McNeil, who's playing for NC State. He was at Prolific for about 5 months and he got homesick. He's from North Carolina, and he's a real homie.
Interesting.
And he's a great, just a great shooter. He's elite.
Yeah.
He had a 45-point game in the ACC this year.
Wow.
And he has a unique ability to lock in. He's big enough. And now the question is, Will Wade left.
Yeah. Went back to LSU. Yes.
This guy's a homeboy. Does he stay with the new coach, Gainey, who just came in?
Yeah.
His agent is pushing him to, to at least look into the draft, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting this information, right?
Yeah.
And so he doesn't know what to do. And it's see if you can parlay this into some money and again, make more money staying one more year in college and getting bigger, stronger, a little faster.
So what do you think a kid like that makes?
Well, I think NC State is going to put a little bit more money into their program. I think LSU is really going to go way out, right? They're probably going to put 12, 15 million into their program.
Into the basketball program?
Yeah. And I think NC State's going to make a commitment up into that, $8, $9, $10 million range. So, I mean, he's worth $1 million.
Yeah.
To me, he's worth $1 million.
Did you hear your guy, Mick Cronin? He's, I mean, hands down, the best press conferences are.
Oh, he's amazing.
Cronin. He's amazing.
Right?
Again, another guy who gives no fucks. And at some point, somebody asks, like, what do you need for next year? Like, what are you looking for? He's like, I don't know. I'm not thinking about next year. And then he throws out $5 million more.
Right.
It's like basically, it's just money.
Yeah.
That's how you compete now.
Yeah. No, you have to have money.
And then, so just to close the loop on talking about chalk on the women's side.
You got it right.
So the Final Four is not quite done yet, but you have 1 seed UCLA, you have 1 seed UConn, and then today, 1 seed South Carolina against 3 seed TCU. My money would be on South Carolina.
Yeah.
And then 1 seed Texas against 2 seed Michigan. So,
and in the women's tournament, a lot of blowout games.
a lot of blowout games.
Very few.
The lowest seed to make the Elite Eight was 6, Notre Dame. They beat the 4 seed.
And that's because Hidalgo had
Hidalgo
a phenomenal game. Right? I
unbelievable.
mean, yeah. So she won the game for him.
So you have no surprises really on the women's side so far, as we expected, right? And I think it would take a miracle for UConn to lose, but we'll see.
Now, is the NIL money for the women more disparate at the top heavy?
Look, the revenue generated by the women's programs, it's meaningful, but it's not the same as the men's programs.
So you can't explain the top heavy in the same way with the women as you can the men.
I don't know.
Can you?
But it's all relative, right?
Right.
So, I mean, if you're still doling out more money
Yeah.
relative to the rest, you're still going to chase the money. It may not be the equivalent amount of dollars, right? But your favorite player, Jazzy,
Davidson.
she got a lot of money to go down to
USC. And they had
and she's really good.
she's really good. And they had kind of a here.
Yeah.
They were like an 8 or 9 seed.
Yeah.
Now, Corey Close at UCLA, I mean, you watch UCLA play, that team could play.
Yeah. I mean, and they might be big enough
They could
play with UConn.
They could play with UConn. If you haven't seen UConn women play, watch them play. Sarah Strong is a kind of generational player, and she's a sophomore.
I know.
She's big. She can shoot. She can handle it. She's just a competitor. It's like she's everything. She's awesome, and they're very deep. So yeah, the UConn's really good. But
Should we do predictions? Final Four predictions?
okay, go Jonas.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with Arizona and Illinois.
So
with Arizona winning.
So Arizona beating Michigan.
Yeah, which is not a guarantee.
I think those are the 2 best teams.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think the committee got it wrong because one of those 2 teams should have been the 1 seed and the other should have been on the other side of the bracket. And by putting Duke on.
So was Duke, did they have
was the
Duke as the overall number 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
And boy, they kind of messed up a little bit there. Like that should be a final.
So you like Illinois.
Yeah, not that I like them. I just, but now would I go down to Vegas to put money on that? I'm not so sure, but
Dan Hurley, coach.
I know. And Illinois is pretty tough. They got Europeans.
They're good.
Yeah.
And those
By the way, Stojakovic is playing great.
yeah, I know.
So
he's
actually a little surprised by that.
That's another great example of the NIL this day and age. Started at Stanford. Well, first of all, started playing against Jonas Honick at Branson and losing.
That's true.
all grades do. Many grades.
He was a Jesuit, right?
He was a Jesuit.
He was
Yeah.
a Jesuit.
Yeah.
So he goes to Stanford for a year. Then he goes to Cal
Right.
for a year, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Then he goes to Illinois, and now he's
Well, he's got his
Great.
homies from the Balkans, right? Playing with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that's it.
They have
They,
3 NBA players in Illinois, I think, right?
They're
They have
really good.
Markovic,
Yeah.
and Waller.
Really good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sleep on that team.
no, they're very good. I think I really like Michigan. I feel like Michigan might sneak by
I do too.
Arizona.
Yeah, because I think they have fewer droughts and maybe more options.
I love the way they share the ball.
Yeah, I agree. And,
Dusty May can coach.
he's really good.
He's really good. I like him a lot. I think Tommy Lloyd's a great coach too.
Yeah,
Arizona,
I mean-
he's done an awesome job. Duff, prediction?
Well, I watched Arizona and Purdue, and after that game, I'm like, Arizona's
That's right. You were at the game.
going to win the national championship. They have too much talent. They got size, they got skill, they got leadership at the point guard position. But then I watched some of the Michigan game yesterday, and I was like, oh, I think Michigan's going to win. So I'm going back and forth, but I'm going to go with Arizona, Illinois as well, and Arizona to win. And I just watched them, and apparently Lloyd pulled the technique where at halftime against Purdue down 7, he pulled the technique of like, all right, you guys, I don't know what to tell you. We've given you everything you need to be prepared. You got to figure it out.
You guys figure it out.
You got 5 minutes to figure it out. And then I recall saying to Holden, watching Arizona come out for the second half, they looked loose. They looked confident. I'm like, wow, they are sure they're going to win this game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they were really listless the first half. I thought, it's like, where is the spark? Where is the spirit?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they are also relying on 2 freshmen.
Yeah.
And that could be
Point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burris
and
then
Pete.
Koa Pete.
Pete, man.
I think both those guys played for Tommy Lloyd this summer
Oh, interesting.
in USA basketball.
Yeah.
I know Koa Pete did, and I think Burris did too.
I mean, and that
helps.
that last game, Tony Butler, our buddy Tony Butler's a U of A guy, Fair Down. So he was at the game, and I was texting with him. I just say, like, Pete needs a touch every time down the floor. It's kind of like what Duke does.
Really good.
What Duke does with Boozer.
Really good this summer.
I mean, Duke generally they run their offense through Cameron Boozer, right? Like
as they should.
So he gets a touch every time. He's a good facilitator, and I feel like Arizona, when you go through Pete, like they couldn't stop him.
No.
Yeah. And if they did, he makes good decisions. And honestly, Michigan does that with Lendenborg too, as we talked about, and he's very unselfish
And older.
and
A
older.
little stronger.
He's really good.
wiser.
What do you think about him as a pro?
Well, I think he'd be a really good pro. It's just, nobody's going to take him on in an early round. Right? I mean, early.
Is it because he's just kind of a
early
tweener?
slot. No, I just think, like if I'm.
Who would be the top pick for you? Acuff?
I don't think it's Boozer.
No, I don't think it's Boozer either. And AJ is getting better. He really is, and especially offensively.
Debanza.
And Peterson is a little bit of a wild card. I think.
He had a weird year with his health issues and does he want to play?
Right.
All that stuff.
And the help defense.
I did read something. I don't know if it was in The Athletic or something like that, but apparently like this whole cramping thing like that is like legit.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, and your whole body like sort of freezes up. And so it was sort of like maybe we shouldn't be so harsh on Peterson type thing.
Yeah.
Calcium channels.
So
Dr. Ballard talked.
Yeah, no, it is. Nice good National Doctors Day is today, Dave.
Okay.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's a lunch going on.
Thank you for your service, Duffy.
Yeah, exactly. What can I buy you?
Put it on the calendar for next year.
I should have bought your coffee.
How about a nice pastrami?
Exactly.
That'd be good for you.
Perfect for that blood pressure up.
Exactly.
Well, Jonas, thank you. Always fun to talk with
Thank
you,
man. I really appreciate this. A lot of fun.
Really fun. So, did you get out and see any high school games this year?
I did. Not nearly as much. I think next year I'll be able to go to more. And I'm sorry I didn't go down to your NorCal game. I went over and watched Branson play their NorCal game that day, only because there were some guys like Ryan Duck and a few other people were going.
It's okay.
And I really felt bad because they said, well, what are you doing? I said, I'm going over to watch MC play, man. They have a really good game coming up. Right? And I saw a stinker at Branson that night and a great game so I felt bad about that. I saw MC beat Branson twice. You guys were really well prepared for them the second night. They tried that 1-2-2 press and 2 quick passes to the corner, 2 quick threes. It was over after the first 2 possessions.
Yeah.
And you guys were so ready for that game.
And those guys were locked in for that game.
Yeah, you guys
but you guys
played a great game.
But you were also really well prepared.
Yeah.
Really well prepared. You were not going to lose that game.
It was a fun year. We will at some point.
I got to see you play it
You did.
at university.
Yes, that was not one of our better games.
It wasn't as bad as, I thought they were clearly superior.
Yeah, they were good. We didn't play great. We ended up figuring it out. KK got us to 20 wins.
Yeah.
Which was great. It was an awesome year, I think, for Marin hoops, and we will cover.
I agree.
There's been a lot of some coaching movements, some player movements that we will address at some point soon, Duff, right? Before the end of the season.
Yeah. Tara Linda job's
Next
open,
season.
right?
Tara Linda job's open. A few other jobs are open.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Redwood job.
Redwood.
is open.
Yep. Well, awesome. Well, everybody watch the Final Four, both women and men. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then if people have opinions, agreements or disagreements to Jonas's brilliance,
And you
Brilliant.
can go
Send
to
it in.
the show notes. We'll have all the clips. So you can, if you want to listen to us talk about these games and watch the clips at the same time and just really nerd out, you'll have the opportunity.
Really
to
nerd
do
out.
that. Yeah.
That's right. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Great.
No, thank you.
Great.
All right.
And thank you to our newest sponsor, the Social Club. That is the Social KLUB, a modern indoor playground in Sausalito for kids aged 0 to 7. It is designed for play, exploration, and creativity. By day, it's a beautifully curated play space where kids can burn energy and parents can relax. That sounds great if you have little kids. And after hours, it transforms into a hub for adult classes, workshops, and events, bringing the same sense of community to grown-ups too. This is co-founded by Tessa White, who is a big fan and now a sponsor of the podcast. Thank you to Tessa. And you can find the Social Club at 2650 Bridgeway in Sausalito, California. The Social Club is also available for rental for parties. You pay the rent, then there is the party, and the rest is gravy. The Run TMC podcast is also sponsored by the Hub in San Anselmo. With plenty of parking and new Tesla charging stations at Red Hill Shopping Center, the Hub is the go-to burger spot where locals come to dine, drink, socialize, and sponsor Run TMC podcast roundtables. While their 100% grass-fed burgers are divine, the menu also features healthy salads made with local produce, vegetarian and vegan options, and the best crispy chicken sandwich in Marin. Amen to that. With 8 craft beers and ciders on tap, plus hand-spun milkshakes, there is something for everyone. Big thank you again to Jerry and Rebecca, to Jake and Dexter Beers, and all of the Hub staff that welcome us to the Hub for good food and good company and above average podcasting. Thank you again to the Hub.
We are sponsored by Batiste Rum. Thank you to our friend John Lawson for supporting us again. Batiste Rum is imported in bulk from the French Caribbean before proofing and bottling in Napa. It's made from 100% sugarcane juice, not molasses or syrups like other rums, so it's light and dry with a clean, not sweet taste, making it perfect for mixing your favorite cocktail. Its production process has been third-party verified as being carbon negative without relying on purchased offsets, so you know it's done right. Find Batiste Rum at fine local retailers like United, Nugget, Total Wine, Marin Beverage Outlet, and more, or ask for it. Check it out at Batiste Rum, that's BATISTERHUM.com. And please always drink responsibly. Thanks, John.
You know, Dave, we've been seeing a lot more teams in the Bay, and especially here in Marin, repping Encore Custom lately. Their uniforms and warm-ups are totally legit, and I'm not just glazing on a spurious level here, Dave. This is real glazing.
Good vocab word. Love the spurious. Exactly, Duff. Couldn't agree more. Most teams have been stuck with the same kind of template uniforms that everyone else has been wearing, but Encore is a place that actually lets teams build something unique to their style and brand.
Yeah, bespoke, just like our Run TMC tees that are coming back again, Dave. Vortex fabric, which is awesome. So yeah, whether it's basketball, volleyball, lacrosse track, even full sideline sets for players and fans, they'll design what you need with your colors, your graphics, your vibe, and the quality is next level.
So check them out at encorecustom.com or stop by their Santa Fe headquarters on 4th Street. Duffy and I have spent a lot of time in that location hanging with our friend Neil. If your program needs new gear for the season, Encore is the move. Thank you, Encore. We love you.
Word. Thank you, Encore. Thank you, Neil.
Burke's on his feet. He looks up and gives me a grin and says, "Hey dude, you too must be from Marin." Marin County's A-OK, from Tam to Stinson all the way to MA. Fresh organic veggies in the market